Okay, we are back in Perry, and I gotta be very careful because my phone is like balancing precariously on some little ornamenty thing that you stick a candle into. So I focused on me, so I'm kind of like sitting in the dark, so that's why that back there, it's all light and stuff. Wine time again, ladies and gentlemen. Mm. So we took the back trip, the trip back from Perry. We left our beautiful Airbnb in Plattsmouth, Nebraska, which was a like working winery. This is just this dude's motorcycles. Just this guy's vision for what he wanted. He was just supplying his own, desire for wine and was turning it into something really, really special. So that, I just want to hit that again that he had created this thing just to bless him, but in the fulfillment of his own vision, he was blessing other people because my wife like cried when we left because the place was so beautiful. She like left a review for it and was like quoting Lord of the Rings. Um, and if baby quotes Lord of the Rings on your Airbnb review, you've done something really, really, really right. And made it back here to Perry, which is our final resting spot before taking off to Australia. We got one more trip so far. There may be some others that pop up. I don't know. Kind of a popular guy. But we're going out to Utah in a few weeks, a couple of weeks, to do a collaboration with Carol Tuttle. Love Carol. Carol. Carol and I like that. And that'll be fun. That'll be really fun. We're going to do that on Facebook Live. This big, live TV event. So tune in. Follow me on Facebook and follow Carol too, because I'm going to be trumpeting it from the rooftops because I love Carol. And she'll mention it like the day or two before. Yeah, it's just a beautiful, beautiful evening. You know, when you get back and you're home and you kind of feel like this sense of home, like even though we're nowhere near home, it feels homey enough, and you kind of settle in, you got this home base. So really cherish that, really treasure that kind of stuff. Um, Find that for yourself. This is the year of yes. We have been saying yes to practically everything, but it's also the year of selection, because what you say yes to, you also say no to everything else, and that's something that you got to remember. So we have just been much more selective with our yeses, whereas previously we would have said yes to being very comfortable and ensuring that we got our, we believed about ourselves that we really worked hard in the day, and that therefore we were entitled to a certain amount of TV time. TV time was like when we could like pre-sleep. It was like pre-shutdown of our brain, and so we would allot ourselves a couple of hours. Now I don't feel necessarily too bad about that because I know that most Americans watch 7 hours of screen time every day in the form of entertainment, which is just that's a lot. But I was among them. I wasn't near as high as the average, but I was among them. I was probably two, maybe three, and I thought that was a legit use of my time. I thought that was a wise use of my time. That I was just winding down from the day. That I just like I needed that. So those were the things that we were saying yes to. And at the beginning of this year, we said this is the year of yes. And basically, the suffix to that is it was the year of yes to things that ordinarily we would say no to, and things that would make us uncomfortable. So we started having more people over. We started saying yes to invitations. We started saying yes to events, saying yes to things that would challenge us, that would make us uncomfortable, that potentially could be one of those things that would keep you up really, really late at night and leave you feeling a little bit shitty the next day. But the reward for you going was absolutely there. Like we went to a baseball game, not college, minor league baseball game, and we had great seats. They really took care of us there, right behind home plate. So my wife liked that. Not because she particularly likes baseball, she just liked to be able to see it and see all the action and stuff. And then it was actually July 3rd that we went, And that evening, the game went forever. Like the game didn't get over until like 10 o'clock, maybe 10:30. And then they were doing this huge fireworks show, like right on the hill, like right in front of us. So everybody in the stands went down, and we laid down in the outfield, which was special in itself. And we watched them set off these fireworks, and it was one of the most spectacular fireworks shows that I have ever seen. And that was something that we had to say yes to, because we knew that it was going to go late. We knew that we were going to be uncomfortable. We knew that the next day we were probably going to feel a little shitty. We knew that the next day we still had work to do, and that's the other thing. Like before, when I thought I was working hard, you have no idea how hard I work now compared to that. Like that guy, he would have like thrown up when should he experience what I'm doing now. You have so much more ability than you give yourself credit for. I know that I can go harder, and every day I push myself harder and harder and harder, because I know that about myself, and I know now that I can push myself harder, and I can achieve more, which means I can live a better life. But I digress. The wild digression. So the year of yes has been about saying yes to things that would ordinarily make us feel uncomfortable in order to experience something that is going to make us feel phenomenal. And like I said in the previous one or two of the previous videos, that I had the opportunity to spend time with my family and do the camping thing, the glamping. It was glamping, really, glamorous camping, or to go and see Paul McCartney. I had the opportunity to go and see Paul McCartney, and I chose the former because I don't know, wasn't that into Paul. I was dead tired. I had put in such a solid like 72 hours that I just I couldn't handle going out again. I couldn't handle it. So even though I probably would have wanted to, I would have been so I knew that the next day we had to leave, and I had to be on for my family. So I said no to that. That was one of the things I said no to. But having said that, we had the most wonderful, amazing experience at this winery, even though they were really, like, I didn't get any of their wine. They didn't give me any of their wine. It's not for sale. I was really bummed about it, because I reckon it would have been good wine, because he's like, yeah, it's not for sale. It's just for us. Anyway, so we made it back to Perry, and, yeah, living that dream. But you know what? The dream is not going to do. The dream is not going to live itself. You actually have to decide to live the dream. You actually have to decide that you're going to do the stuff that's going to make you uncomfortable. You have to decide that you're going to be all in and think about the life that you're going to have, the full life that you're going to have at the end of it. And that's what we're after. You know, nobody's going to wish they spent more time taking it easy. Unless you're like a total workaholic and you like work in finance and shit like that, and it's like, gosh, I wish I would have taken it easier. I mean, nobody is going to wish that they spent more time slacking than working on their dream, working on their vision. So if you haven't watched the previous video, watch the previous video, because I talk about this guy's vision for the winery, and it's really, really relevant. All right, I'll see you guys for coffee time tomorrow.